So what we discussed in the previous class, guys?
What is OS and all?
Yeah. So types of operating system. So today we'll discuss about the how many types of operating systems, guys? We have a two types of operating systems. What is single user operating
Multi-
system? Single user operating system and multi-user operating
Are you
system.
sharing your
Right.
screen, Andy?
Okay. I'm not sharing.
Yeah,
Sorry. Are you able to see, right?
yeah, yes.
Yeah. So types of operating system we discussed yesterday, right? Types of operating systems, single user operating system and multi-user operating system, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What is this? So Linux is the multi-user operating system. Linux is the multi-user operating system. Linux is the multi-user operating system. So why it is popular? So Linux OS is popular for multi-user operating system. Right, guys? Linux OS is popular for multi-user operating system. Right, guys? So, yeah. So multi-user operating system. So who invented this Linux? Who developed? Who invented this Linux? Linux OS. Does anyone knows who invented this Linux OS? So what is operating system? You already know, right? As per Wikipedia, an operating system is a software that means computer and hardware, computer resources, and provides a common service for a computer program. In simple words, an operating system is a software that acts as a middleman or a bridge between computer hardware and a computer user. It provides a user interface and controls to the computer hardware so that software can function. Okay. So types of operating systems. How many types of operating systems are there? So single user operating system and multi-user operating system. So desktop operating systems, so Microsoft Windows, so Mac, Linux, such as Ubuntu. Server operating systems, so Windows Server, Linux distributions like so Linux, CentOS, Red Hat. Mobile operating systems like Android, iOS, Windows Mobile. Embedded operating systems are used in the device like routers, so smart TVs, so automobiles, so home appliances. So real-time operating systems used in the critical systems like medical equipment, car ECUs, or aerospace, defense, network firewalls, home security systems. These are the types of operating systems. So what is the Linux, guys? So Linux, in simple terms, it's a free and open source operating system. It's a similar to Windows and Mac, but it's a different in several ways. So Linux is very popular for the stability, security, flexibility. It can be modified and distributed by anyone, which has led to many different versions known as distributions, and each distribution is tailored for different users. Okay, Linux is in simple terms, it's a free and open source operating system It's a open source nature means that the community of the developers and users contributes its development. So what is a Linux? It's an open source nature. That means community of the developers and users contribute to its development. So so you understood, right? This is the Linux. You guys can use it in anywhere the Linux. Why Linux or its importance? So widely used in servers and cloud computing. So free software philosophy, strong command line interface, so faster processing, enhanced security, customization because of open source. Okay. So customization, community support. So understanding of the other operating systems, career opportunities. Okay. So career opportunities, history of a Linux. So before Linux, Unix developed in 1970s at AT&T Bell Labs by Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. So GNU project. Then GNU project is GNU is nothing but a GUI. Okay, 1983. That Richardson Linux came into the picture 1991, 21 years old. So Finland student Linus Torvald. Who is guys? 21 years old Finland student Linus Torvald in August 25th, 1991. He introduced a new OS called as a Minix news group. Okay. So Minix, I'm doing a free operating system, just a hobby, won't be big and professional like GNU. Okay, so in version 0.01, September 1991, not functionalized, released to the public. Okay, version 2, it's related to the GNU project. So now you understood, right? So history of a Linux, before Linux, so Unix is there. So birth of Linux in 1991, a 21 years old Finland student named Linus Torvald on August 25th, 1991. Linus announced his project on the Minix News Group. I'm doing a free operating system, just a hobby, won't be gun professional like no. Version is released on 0.02 in 1991. Okay, so this Linux is widely used, guys. Growth and evolution. Early 90s, Linux rapidly evolved through collaboration over the internet. Right, one people is using multiple, they are sharing. So finally, Linux will be using these many people, guys. Linux is using these many people. It's a widely using. All the applications will be deployed under the Linux only. Applications will be deployed under the Linux only. So it will be spreading and all the application, all are using the Linux because of it's a open source. All are using Linux because of it's a open source. Guys, understood? Yeah. Now I will tell you. Shapes. Yeah. What this is? This is the Linus Torvald. So Linus Torvald in 1919 he created a OS called as a Minix. So this Minix, what is this? This is the a Minix OS developed. Minix OS. So this will be created based on the Unix OS. Unix OS, Unix operating system. Understood? This is the based on Unix operating system. But this Minix having some drawbacks. Minix having some drawbacks means there is no network. There is no network in the Minix operating system. Then he released and he created a OS and he is thinking to put the new name for this OS. New OS is introduced introduced to overcome all these problems and they created a new OS call it as a new OS call it as new OS and he is thinking to put the name for this OS and then he realized and he created a name call it as a how Linux came it. So what is his name guys? Guys, what is his name? Guys, what is his name? Guys, speak out, guys.
Linus Torvald.
Star.
Yes, Linus Torvald. So, and he took the first four letters from his name. What are the first four letters, guys? L-I-N-U. L-I-N-U, right? And last letter from the Unix. What is the last letter from the Unix, guys?
X.
Very good. What is the last letter from Unix? Then Linux came into the picture. Guys, now you understood how Linux came into the picture? He created a new OS called as Linux OS. Now you understood, right, guys, how Linux came into the picture? The first letters from his name and the last letters from Unix. He took that letters and he created a Linux OS, and he released as a open source. So the Linux is a CLI and he released as a open source. What is that? He released as a open source. What is CLI, guys?
Command line.
Command
interface.
line interface.
Okay. Command line interface. So while Linux is so popular, guys,
It is a multi-user operating system
very good.
and it is secure, open source.
Yes, multi-user operating system. Yeah. Second one,
Secure.
open. And it is a secure and what is this, guys?
Portable.
Why people are using Linux widely? Why people are using, guys? Because of these four. So Linux is a multi-user and open source and CLI also. What is that? CLI. So it's a CLI portable. If it is a CLI, right? So it is a GUI. How much? What is GUI? So Windows operating system is a GUI. Windows 11 is GUI. All Windows operating systems are GUI. So GUI means how they built up. They build up with the images, something like minimize, maximize, everything. These all are built up with the images, right? So if you want to use the images and if you want to build a OS, so it will take a much space. For example, if you want to install the OS, at least we need a 60 GB space storage or a space or a hard disk. Okay, so 50 GB. So if it is a CLI how much? So we can install the OS within 8 GB. 8 GB is enough. How much? 8 GB is enough. That's the reason. So it is a so what this is, guys? It is a portable and it is a highly secure. So how hackers attack the OS, guys? Something like through the ransomware attack or all these attacks, right? So they will click the link or something like they will click the images, right? Here so CLI means it's a commands. Commands are something like ls, pwd. These all are this. These all are the letters, right? So and it's a highly secure. There is a SC Linux is inbuilt in the OS. So and open source. Why it is? Windows is the commercial. Commercial means so if you want to use before we need to purchase the license. That's the reason it is a open source. It's a free of cost and a multi-user operating system. So we can use the multiple user to connect with the operating system to can work on it. So that's the reason Linux is popular. So Linux OS is popular for the multi-user operating system. Why popular, guys? Tell me why it is popular. So it's a multi-user operating system, open source, CLI, secure and portable. Guys understood?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, he released as a open source, right? So he released as a open source. For example, I have the Facebook code. So do I need to write it again or I can reuse it? I have a Facebook code or I have a WhatsApp code. Shall I need to rewrite the code or something like we can use it and we can modify it? Guys, do we need to write it again?
We can use it and modify.
Yes, very good. What is GUI and what is CLI? What is GUI and CLI, guys? Graphical
Graphical user
Interface, right? All Microsoft OSS, all Microsoft OSS are GUI. Okay. CLI. What is CLI? What is CLI, guys?
command.
Command line interface. Command line interface. Linux is released as a CLI. CLI. Guys, understood?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Yes. So why it is popular? Because it's a Linux is portable. Linux is highly secure. CLI easy to maintenance and open source. Yes, understood? So these are the why most important, why Linux is popular because of. So Linux OS is popular for multi-user operating system. It's affordable, highly secure, CLI, easy to maintenance, and open source. Right, guys? So what is open source, guys? Does anyone knows what is open source?
It is available at free
Yes.
of cost. Open to everyone.
Yeah. One is free of cost. Second one is source code also available. Source code also available. So what is source code? What is application? Source code. So what is application source code, guys? What is application source code? Means the develop the code. Whatever the developers develop that programs, right? That programs or codes is nothing but a for application building, for application building. So that is nothing but source code. Guys, application source code means the developer develop that code, right? So for the developing the web pages, right? That programs for the application building, for application building, that is nothing but source code. So what is a software source code, guys? What is the software source code? Does anyone knows? Means, so for example, For example, to develop the OS, to build or develop the OS, they wrote some code for building the OS. Right, guys? This is nothing but a software source code and application source code. So what I have a Facebook source code. I have a Facebook source code, and I can and I modified as, for example, book face, and will release as the will release the website will release the website as book phase. Right? No need to write the code again. No need to write the code again, right? So why he released as a open source? If you release as a open source, so what you will get? You will get the source code also. So every company, so some companies are took that source code and created their own type of OSs. What those are? So for example, IBM company. Which company? IBM company took that source code and created their own OS called as a AIX Linux OS. And HP company took that source code and created their own OS called as a UX Linux OS. And Sun Microsystems took that source code and created Solaris Linux OS. Which OS, guys? Solaris Linux OS. The same way, Oracle company also took that source code and created their own OS called as a Oracle Linux. What is that? Oracle Linux. Okay, the same Red Hat INC. Which one, guys? Red Hat INC company took that source code and created their own OS called as a Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat. These three are the OSs they created. So what are the versions of that server? CentOS to CentOS or a Red Hat. Red Hat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The latest version is 10 of the Red Hat or CentOS. So CentOS is freely available. It's freely available, and Red Hat is the enterprise support, and Fedora is the R&D purpose. Fedora is the R&D purpose. Same like as a Debian. Debian company took that source code and created their own voice called as a Ubuntu. Ubuntu is famous for the desktop also. So, and other Linux is something like SUSE Linux, FreeBSD Linux, BSD Linux, or Rocky Linux. Okay, so Rocky Linux, FreeBSD, something like a Kali Linux. All these Linux are because of he released as a open source. All the companies took that source code and created their own type of versions. Okay, so in our class, so what we will discuss, we'll discuss about the CentOS 9. CentOS 9. CentOS 9 is the stable version. If you know the 9, right, it will be very easy to understand the 10 also. So, and one thing I missed out. Amazon Linux. Amazon company. Amazon ANC took that source code and created their own voice called as a Amazon Linux 20. So Amazon Linux 2 and Amazon Linux 2020. So the all these three Linuxes. What is that? The Oracle Linux, Amazon Linux, Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat. These Linuxes are copy from the copy from the CentOS or a Red Hat. These two Linuxes, Oracle and Amazon. So whatever the commands we are executing in the CentOS, Red Hat, Fedora, the same commands will execute it in the Oracle Linux or a Amazon Linux. Is understood? So what is Amazon Linux? So Amazon Linux is used for the cloud computing. In AWS, they are using the mostly it's a freely available. Most of the people are using the Amazon Linux. Amazon Linux. If you know the CentOS, if you know the CentOS, right, it will be very easy to understand. The same, whatever the commands we are executing in the CentOS, Red Hat, Fedora, the same commands will execute in the Amazon Linux and Amazon Linux 2023 and Oracle Linux. Okay, so Oracle also use the same versions. Oracle also uses the same version. Guys, understood?
Yes, yes.
Yes, right? Yeah, nice. Well, coverage R71G4. Yeah, for example, I'm taking the server. Yeah, guys. Right. So we bought the what this is, guys. This is a physical server. Physical server. What this server is? This server is Dell Power Edge R710 or something like series. Okay, this is the physical server. So how we can interact with this server, guys? How we can interact with this server? Guys, so how we can interact with this hardware? For example, this is you guys. How you can interact with this hardware? So I already told you, right? How we can interact with this hardware? What we need?
OS.
Yes, very. What we need? We need a OS. If you want to interact with this hardware, so what we need? So we need a OS. So which OS we are installing on this server for interacting the hardware? So which OS we are installing, guys? Which OS? CentOS?
CentOS 9.
Very good. What is this? CentOS 9 is installed on this machine. Now we can able to interact with this. Now we can able to interact with this hardware. I want to deploy the code. I want to deploy the code. So what this code is? This code is, for example, fb.jar. fb.jar. This is the code. I want to deploy this code on the this physical server. What we need, guys? So what we need to deploy this code on the physical server? Yes, now you can able to interact with this OS if you are installed CentOS 7. Okay, then we need to deploy this code. How we can deploy, guys? So we can install the web servers. What web server we need to install? Wrote the code through Java. Yes, we need a Java, and so we need a Tomcat. What is that? Tomcat is the web server. So in the Tomcat, so whatever the code is there, right? Code applied it in the fb.jar. Okay, then end user. How end user will use this application? So if you deploy the code in the server, then only the end users will use it. Then only the end users will use it, right? So these all are the end users. Understood? So when they are hitting the www.facebook.com, www. So it will where it will get the pages, guys. So where it will get the pages. For example, you are executing the www.facebook.com. So facebook.com. This is the web page. This web page comes from where, guys? This web page comes from where? Guys, speak out, guys. This web page comes from where? So this web page comes from here only because of the website is the program. So the website is deployed under this server. So whenever a user hit right, it will go to the server and it will get the pages through HTTP or HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol or hypertext. What this is, guys? So this is, see, HTTPS through the hypertext transfer protocol. The web page comes from here. So from that code, so you will get the web page, right? Yes, nice. So where you keep the server, where you kept the server, guys? You kept this server in the your home. For example, you bought the Dell PowerEdge server with so and you kept it in your home, and then you install the OS, then you install the Java Tomcat, and so you deployed the code into the Tomcat web server, right? So thus Facebook is very nice. The UI is very nice. Every day the people are sign up 1,000, and after 7 days, so it will be 30,000. That 30,000 people are using Facebook. Right. So where you kept this server? Guys, where you keep the server? In our home. So where you kept in our home. So home having, so guys, how many powers having home? Only one power. Only one power and internet. What is that? If you want to get the pages through the internet only, right? So only one internet. Right. So 1 week there is no power outage and there is no internet outage. So 1 week there is no power outage and internet outage. So people are increasing day by day. After 1 week, every 2 hours the power will goes down and came up. So that time is that application will be available or not, guys? The site cannot be reached. So every 1 hour the power goes down and came up. The server will goes down and came up. So that time, so is the application is available? No, the site cannot be reached. And the same way, every 2 hours, the internet goes down and came up. That time also, the application will not be reachable to the end user. Will not reachable to the end user. That time also, they are frustrated. So every 1 hour the power is going down, and every 2 hours the internet goes down. But I have only one internet and I have only one power backup. I have only one power backup. I have only one internet backup. Right? The people are reducing. So after 1 week, something like it reduces to, so right, 30,000 reduces to, so again 10,000, again 10,000. They are removing their account from the Facebook because of there is no consistency. Every time it is showing site cannot be reached. Every time it is showing site cannot be reached. So that time, so I need a solution. My site, my website will not goes down. I need a 24 by 7 availability. Availability. What is the solution, guys? What is the solution? What we need, guys? If you want to, so if you want to server up in 24 by 7, and we need a internet 24 by 7. So what is the solution, guys? Yes, what is the solution? We need a multiple power backups and we need a multiple internet backups, right? But in our home only we have a one power and one internet backup. But who will provide multiple internet backups and who will provide multiple power backups? So I need my server 24/7 uptime running every time, and I need a multiple internet backups. If if one internet goes down, it will switch to the another one. If another one is goes down, it will switch to the another one. So every time my website will be up. My website uptime will be 24/7. 99% uptime we need. Uptime 99.99%. So who will provide this solution? Guys, who will provide this solution? Does anyone knows? Guys, who will provide this solution? Does anyone knows?
No.
Yes.
Who is? Who is? I need to keep this server in the data center or on-premise environment. On-premise, on-premise or a data center. Guys, on-premise or a data center, right? What they are providing? Data centers are providing the 99.99% uptime, durability, reliability. Okay, durability, reliability, and uptime. So what is that? Data center. So for example, CTRL, controllers data center. What is this, guys? Controllers data center. For example, in Hyderabad. So what is that, guys? Controllers ACS largest Tier 4 data center. What they are providing? So they are providing the racks. You see, right, guys? These all are the racks. What they are providing? They are providing the racks. Why the racks? To keep our servers in the racks. Data center racks. Here. You see, right, guys? Sorry. Yeah, here. So what these all are? So these all are the racks. You see, right? This is the our server. What this is? This is our server. So where we are keeping our servers? So we are keeping our servers in the data center. What they are providing? They are providing the rental space. They are providing the rental space to keep our servers, and they are providing the 99.99% uptime and internet power, internet backup, power backup, everything they will provide it. So right. So where we are keeping our servers, guys. So where we are keeping our servers? In the data center. In the data center. So if you keep this server in the data center, they are providing the 99.9% uptime and the durability and the sustainability, right? That's the reason we are keeping our servers in the data center. Okay. So how many environments are there, guys? In the real time. So the real time environments. For example, this is the Dell PowerEdge data center, right? In the data center, is the Dell PowerEdge. This is okay. So real-time environments. What are the real-time environments? The real-time environments are production and non-production. Right, guys? What are those? Production and non-production. So what is the production? So production is nothing but whatever the application, whatever the website you are searching it, right? These websites will be deployed under the production environment. Which environment? Production is nothing but a live environment. The end users, right? These are all the end users. End users are using so is anyone working as a developer or QA guys? Guys?
No.
Mhm. Yeah, for example, these all are the end users. Why it is stuck?
virtual server Linux also, na? Hello?
Okay. So these all are the end users. End users will use the which environment? End users will use the production environment. So production means live environment. So in the LTM, how many servers we have? So we have a three servers. So what this is a data center or on-premise. So this is a data center or a on-premise environment. So in this we have a non-prod and a production environment. Prod, non-prod. Non-prod is nothing but a live. So whatever we are seeing in the browser, right? That internet. So those all are deployed in this server. So who used this non-production? So non-production is nothing but a dev environment and so for example QA environment. So how many people are using in the dev and how many people are using in the QA? So for example, only two are working on the so two people are working from development end and the two people are working from the QA certification. So what is the role of development team and what is the role of a dev team? So dev team will be develop the application and test it under the dev environment. So if it is okay, then they will move it to the QA environment. The QA people will verify the if the application is working fine or not. They will validate and so once they will validate, they will sign up to the to deploy it on the production. So in the production we will deploy this application. Then so finally who will use this? This will be used by the end users. Who are this? These are the end users, right? These all are the end users. So end users means ours. We are using a website for Facebook or a WhatsApp, right? Guys, understood? So now how many environments? We have a dev environment, QA, UAT, staging, pre-prod, pilot, integration. So these all are the non-production environments, right? Non-production environment and the production environment, live environment. It's a business and impact. This environment will work 24 by 7 and 365 days. It will be up and running. If the server is crashes or down, right? Who will impact? Only the QA team. Internally, the internal QA team will impact. If it is a development server, so who will impact? Only the developer who is developing that, right? They will not test it under the, they will not deploy it under the development environment. But if the production environment is having any issue, who will impact, guys? So that end users will impact. That is the reason this server will be up and running 24 by 7 and 365 days. 24 by 7 and 365 days. Guys, understood? Guys, any doubts?
It's clear.
Yeah, nice. Now you understood, right? What is data center?
Yes, sir. So we will cover on virtual server as well, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
The next topic is virtual server. Because of, you see here, yeah. So this is the big server. In this big server, something like a 256 GB RAM, so 20 CPU and a 4 TB, 2 TB hard disk. So, so this is okay because of this much of end users will connect to the server. But this much a big amount of the server. But how many people are connected to the server? Only two people. Here only two people. but the cost and if you so if you keep it in the data center, right, we need to pay the rent also. So for using the development team, we don't need this much amount of the server. And if we keep it in the data center, right? So if you are using or if you are not using, definitely we need to pay the money, right? So for the purpose, we don't need this much big amount of resources for the development and QA or UAT or non-production P-prod or staging environments. So what a big innovative solution came from a physical servers. What that is? That is a virtualization. If you install the virtualization on the server, okay, so it will be freely available the resources and you can install the number of voices based on the resources. So once you install the virtualization, you can install the number of voices. For example, you can use the one server for production, one server for dev and QA, one server for dev and QA. So for the cost reduction, a big innovative thought came into the picture. So from physical to virtualization. So from virtualization to nowadays they are using the containerization. So containerization is nothing but a Docker and Kubernetes. Kubernetes is the container orchestration. Kubernetes is the containerization solution. So physical, a big innovative thoughts comes into the picture, then it will go to the virtualization, then a virtualization, so a big innovative thought comes into the picture, a Docker, a containerization came into the picture. So nowadays, every application is deploying through as a microservice before they are using as a monolithic, right? Please ask Debesha, Debashish. Who asked the question? Debashish or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Debashish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, understood.
Ah,
I will
yes.
tell you. I will tell you what is virtualization. Everything I will tell you.
And please share the syllabus as well, sir, after finishing the class.
Yeah, I already. Yeah, I will share. I will share it. I will share
Okay.
it.
I
Or
I
else.
will join late now, so that's why.
Okay, okay. I will share it. So, what are the real-time environments, guys? So, real-time environments are two types. What are those, guys? What are those? Non-production
Prod
and
and non-prod.
Production.
Hmm, non-production. In the non-production environments, what environments are there in the non-production? Dev means development environment
Yes.
and QA. QA environment, then UAT. UAT is nothing but a user acceptance test, something like it's a pre-prod or a beta or a client-facing environment. Pre-prod, right? Some companies are using Dev QA, some companies are using Dev UAT, some companies are using staging and integration. My company is using. So integration is our integration environment is a QA environment, and so our development environment is nothing but a staging and a prod environment. So our pre-prod environment is nothing but a beta environment. So we have a beta, we call it as a beta environment. Is understood? What is this? Production environment. So production environment is nothing but a live environment, right, guys? Production is nothing but a live environment. So it will be a business impact, right? Business impact, this environment. this environment will work on 24/7 and 365 days. Right, guys? Yeah. Next, what is data center or on-premise environment? What is data center, guys? Guys, what is data center?
It's like a backup.
Physical
Backup.
server.
Huh? Backup. What is a data center or a on-premise environment?
Physical server.
It's provide a rental space. It provides a rental space to keep our servers, and they are providing uptime 99.999%. Guys, what is data center? Controllers is the data center, right? What they are providing? They are providing the rental space for to keep our servers. And what they are providing? They are providing the 24/7 power backup, 24/7 internet backup. Our application will be running on 24/7 without any issue. You guys understood? So these all are the racks and data centers. So you see, so this is our server and these all are the racks. They are providing the racks and they are providing the power backup, internet backup, everything. Okay. So what is the data center? It provides a rental space, and it provides a rental space to keep our servers, and they are providing the uptime of 99.99%. Understood? Guys. Yeah. Guys. What is a static website and what is a dynamic website? What is static website and what is dynamic website? Guys, what is static website and what is dynamic website? Does anyone know static, dynamic? Guys. So what is static website? What is dynamic website?
Static doesn't change. It's flat, and the dynamic keeps changing.
I need only shell scripting training. Vijay. Yes. Vijay, you there? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what you need?
I see. The thing is, like, I wanted to ping you separately, but I don't get a chance to inform this yesterday itself. So what I need is only the shell scripting, because Linux and all, I don't think so. I'll have opportunity to start, but
You
I
know
want
now,
only
Linux?
no. But I want to know only shell script, or do I need to go through this particular course to get well versed with shell scripting?
Yes. Because of you don't know the Linux, how you can write the shell scripting?
Okay,
Okay.
understood.
So shell
Yeah.
scripting, yeah. So shell scripting is nothing but you are writing a commands in the program. Then you can execute
Yeah.
that program. So if
Yeah.
you don't know the commands, how you can write the program?
Okay, understood. And
Understood,
basically,
right?
what I need is to read files from SFTP.
Yes.
Those things I need. Okay.
Yes. For example, you want to take a backup, or you want to run a job, or you want
Yes.
to, yeah, right. You want to take the backup, or you want to create a file, user, everything. If you don't know the
Yeah.
Linux commands, if you don't know the commands, how you can write the programs? So shell
Okay.
scripting is nothing but a,
Group of
so for
commands.
example, Hari dot or something like backup.sh. This is the script file. Okay, this is the
Uh,
script program. What it contains? Shebang, bin bash. Okay, so something like a copy file re.txt to temp. Okay, and then you are creating a mkdir now pt
Yeah.
tomcat, right? So these are the two commands. This is the program. Okay, so this is the two commands you want to execute in the bash or backup.sh or copy. So this is the copy and mkdir. So how you can run something like /sh backup.sh. So you can run this way. So if you don't know what is CP, what is mkdir, how you can create the script. How you can create the script. If you don't know the shell, what is shell? So why they are using shell? What are the commands we need to use to create the program on the script? Right? If you don't know Vijay, how you can write it? Understood? So
Yes,
if
sir.
you know the
Yes.
Linux, it will be very easy to understand the scripting.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Thank
Thank you.
you. Guys, any doubts? Guys. So after this, right? After this, we will start a virtualization and we will install the OS, something like this is the virtualization, guys. So what this OS is? This is the Windows OS, and I installed the Oracle VirtualBox. So in this Oracle VirtualBox, I installed the CentOS 10 or CentOS 9. So this is my CentOS 9 OS. What this is, guys? This is my CentOS 9 OS, and I am, you see, guys. So this is the OS. So this is the Linux OS. I am using it. I installed in my Windows. So we install the virtualization Oracle VirtualBox. Then I install the CentOS. Based on the resource, I already told you, right? We can install the number of OSs. Ubuntu OS, Windows OS, or something like Red Hat OS, Oracle Linux, or so you can create the number of OSs based on the resources. Resources is nothing but a configuration. So configuration is nothing but a CPU, RAM, memory, hard disk. Guys, understood? Guys, understood?
Yes, yes.
Okay, guys. Thank you. We'll continue from tomorrow.
Yeah, what could be the timings for the class?
Same 7 to 8.
But we got information like it's a 6 to 7, something like that.
6 to 7, huh?
Uh,
No, 7 to 8. Then after we have a class Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, 8 to 9. So then after that Git and GitHub, 9 to 10.
mhm. So this could be 7 to 8.
This
30
could be
days.
7 to 8. Yes.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
Fine.
Yeah.
Can we
Thank you,
like
guys.
what we have covered here?
Thank you.